Come with me to Illinois to cover Penn State's away game against Illinois for Onward State. So we hit the road pretty early, around 9 a.m., wanted to get the full day in, drove through, western Pennsylvania. We saw our friend Jordan, who actually is a former Onward Stater. He is also going to the game, and we ran into his car. So here's a clip of us waving to him as he drove past. But yeah, we kept going, drove across some cool bridges and such. Pretty views. This was the most interesting part of the drive because then it just got flat. Briefly in West Virginia. Vibes are good at this point. Singing, having fun, still early, not tired yet. Unfortunately, we did have to go into Ohio. Went to Panera for lunch, Onward State tradition on these road trips. But then kept moving, trying to get out of Ohio as quickly as possible. Drove through Cincinnati, which was cool. I'd never been to Cincinnati before. But ultimately, the reason we were going to Cincinnati was a little detour because I wanted to go to Kentucky. I wanted to go to KFC for lunch in Kentucky. Why? I thought it'd be funny. When do you get the chance to do these sort of goofy things and on these road trips with friends and stuff? So we got some KFC for lunch in Kentucky. I gave it a try, and shocker.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night or day.
So after we're feeling rejuvenated from some KFC, we left Kentucky, headed back into Ohio, unfortunately. But we did go through Cincinnati, get to see the skyline, which was pretty cool. We drove past the Great American Ballpark right here, which is where the Cincinnati Reds play. Really cool. It's like right on the water. I'm sure there's great views from in the park. Then we drove through the city a little bit more, got to see some of the skyline from below, and then we went past Paycor Stadium, which is where the Cincinnati Bengals play, which is right down the street from where the Reds play, so that's pretty cool. Then we headed into Indiana, which, shocker, is just a lot of corn. That's probably why Nolan fell asleep, because we were just looking at corn for a while. We stopped at a gas station that had some interesting merchandise, let's just say. Haley let her thoughts be known. Then we continued our drive through Indiana as we watched the sun slowly set on the cornfields, and eventually we finally made it to our sixth state of the day, Illinois, the land of Lincoln. We headed to Champaign, home of the University of Illinois, and we made our presence known.
Wherever true to you, dear old white and blue, Onward State, woo! Onward State, roar, Lions, roar. We'll hit that line, roll up the score, and fight for victory evermore. Go Penn State! On, 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 Penn State. P.S. Let's go! P.S.
We went to check out Memorial Stadium the night before, see what we were going to be working with the next day, and then we headed towards campus. I love looking at other college campuses, seeing what other people have going on. There was this cool gathering on the main quad, a lot of fun times, and they had this corn monument, which I thought was funny. And then we headed into Campus Town, which is kind of like the downtown of Champaign that's adjacent to campus. There's like a separate downtown elsewhere, you'll see later in the video, but this is like the campus downtown. We went to a Raising Cane's because we saw it had a rooftop like patio, which was really cool. And then we pretty much just headed home to the motel. That's the end of the day. Alright, so on Saturday we got up and we headed for the stadium. Got to walk in through some of the tailgate lots, but we weren't dilly-dallying because this is a business trip. We're here to work. Went in, got settled in. I went around and I took some pictures around the stadium while it was still empty because they hadn't let fans in yet. And it was cool to see the stadium empty. It's always cool, especially in a new stadium, to kind of just see it in this different state than you usually do. Here's Haley and I in the photographer's room. He edited some pictures of the team arriving. Then I went back out to shoot warm-ups. Warm-ups are always super fun to shoot for me because you get to kind of predict where the players are going to go really easily, so you can get some really close shots of them because they're generally repeating patterns over and over again, so you can get really tight and know where they're going to be. Went back into the photographer's room to edit some of those warm-up pictures. I'm constantly doing this all game so that we can be posting stuff as the game goes on, just back and forth, posting. Anytime anything interesting happens, edit, post, edit, post. Here's some more videos of warm-up. I'm not allowed to actually video the game itself, but I am allowed to take videos of warm-ups, so I figured I would show you guys some clips from the field view of warm-ups. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Here's some more clips of warm-up stuff. Again, nothing super interesting, but I can't show the game. Then I went back and I had a little pre-game glizzy. I gotta keep the fuel up, and this is all they had for the photographers in the photographer's room, so that's what I ate. I had like 2 during the game. Then the band came out, performed before the game. The band was one of the best parts of the Illinois game day experience. They were super good, super into it. I love college bands, they're just great. And after the national anthem was played, it was pretty much time to get going. And at this point, the clips become a little bit spottier, just because now I'm really in the zone and I'm really working. I'm only recording when it's convenient. Here's the stadium. Once it's full, it was an orange out. Orange is my favorite color, so I thought that was pretty cool. I did the orange out at Auburn last year too, so I've only done 3 away games, and 2 of them have been orange outs, which I find interesting. There's the student section, and here's a little clip of me doing my thing. Set up a little .5, so not very interesting for your perspective, but I have a lot of fun with it. This is the halftime show. They did like a Taylor Swift medley, which I thought was fun. But for most of halftime, I'm just editing pictures. Here's a little thing they spell out, Illini, I think is how you say it. And then here's the team coming back out for the second half. All excited, ready to go. I'm excited too, but at this point I'm just waiting for them to get by so I can get to my spot. The drumline performed, which was pretty cool. And then once again, here's another clip of me kind of just doing my thing, being a photographer. By the end of the third quarter, a lot of the students had left because Penn State was winning by a decent number of points. So I just kept taking my pictures and doing my thing. And yeah, after the game, I run onto the field to take pictures of the coach's handshake. So there I am, doing my job.
And did it my way.
Once the victory celebrations are over, the field clears out, and Haley and I headed up to the press box where the writers were to get some stuff done. This is the view from up there. Pretty good. You can see the field and downtown really well. Press box was awesome. They had some cool vintage posters and stuff, which I loved. Lots of food and stuff for the media. Very generous. The media appreciate it. I got this ice cream. Pretended to be Drew from the Chicago Bears because he left, and he left his seat open, and I needed a seat, so I used his seat. Then we took the elevator back down, and we still had field access, which was nice, so you already know we were using that field access to go on the field and have a little bit of fun before we headed out of there in an empty stadium. And now we wrap things up with a little trip to an empty midfield here at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
So after beating Joe in a 40-yard dash, I took in the moment, standing in the middle of a Big Ten Division I football stadium, which is still surreal that this is my job. This is what I get to do. I have a ton of fun with it. I enjoy it so much. Then we headed out of there because we were hungry for some dinner. We basically hadn't eaten since breakfast, other than some stuff in the media room. So we headed downtown to the non-campus town part of town to a pub and got this burger. So now I figured I should just show you some of my pictures, since this whole video is just a video about me taking pictures. I love my job. Almer State's an incredible group to work for. I'm super proud to be in the position that I am in, alongside some amazing people. So I'll do some quick plugs before we get into the end of this video. Firstly, at D'Angelo's Photos on Instagram is my photography page. You can see all these pictures plus more. I also have a link down below to my Onward State author page. You can see all the articles that I write for Onward State. Also, I'd like to shout out the whole crew who came with me to Illinois. They're all super talented. And then shout out particularly to at Stutzman Photographs on Instagram. That's my co-editor Haley's pictures. Go check them out too because they're awesome. but that was the end of the day. So Sunday we decided to just power through. Got some breakfast, and by breakfast I mean M&M's at Circle K, and we just drove. I drove for a long time. I drove past Notre Dame, didn't even see it though. Stopped at Culver's for lunch. It was delicious, and then we drove more in the rain. And that's it. That's the end of the video. Sunday was just a driving day, so nothing interesting happened. Thanks for watching. Bye.